Well, Art Monk had 940 career receptions. He was a great receiver for the Redskins from the late 70s through early 90s. The thing about Monk is he was a great possession receiver. Very intelligent, knew where to be on the football field to catch first down passes that would be first downs. In one season, 1985, a very high percentage of his receptions went for first downs, I believe. For instance, in his 32 third down receptions, 31 went for first down. He also set a Redskins single season receiving record one year, 1984. He had 106 receptions that year. He was part of the posse of Monk, Gary Clark, and Ricky Sanders. He was more of the possession receiver, whereas Clark and Sanders were more of the deep threats. He played his games in total silence. He didn't trash talk on the field. He just wanted his play on the field to do the talking. And he also was very diligent when it came to working out. He wanted to be in the best shape possible. He had a special workout plan that he had adopted from Terry Metcalf, a Redskins running back in the early 80s. Now, in my opinion, the reason why it took 8 years for Monk to be inducted into the Hall of Fame is because of his lack of touchdown catches. He didn't have a lot of TD catches in the whole scheme of things. He had 68 in his career to go with 940 receptions, and that's a pretty poor ratio in comparison to someone, say, like Chris Carter, who was a finalist for the Hall of Fame this year. I believe he had 130 touchdown catches to go with his 1,000 plus receptions. And Lynn Swann is another good example. He had about 336 catches in his career to go with 51 touchdown catches, which is, those two are much stronger ratios. And on top of that, Monk was basically invisible in the Redskins Super Bowl appearances during the era that he played in, and the 4 times the Redskins played in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 17, he didn't play because of an injury. Super Bowl 18, he and the Redskins' other big receiver at the time, Charlie Brown, were shut down by the Raiders' cornerbacks, Lester Hayes and Mike Haynes. Super Bowl 22, Monk did have a 40-yard reception, but it was prior to the Redskins' 35-point explosion in the second quarter, so he wasn't part of that. And then in Super Bowl 26, Monk had a 2-yard touchdown catch, but it was called back because of instant replay. His replay showed that his foot hit the end line. So he really wasn't seen on the biggest stage of all in the Super Bowls. So I think those two things that's what really delayed his entry into the Hall of Fame, his lack of touchdown catches and his inability to show what he could do in the Super Bowl.